trickling in, but since this is only a 30-minute virtual chat, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share our new updated map with you guys. If I can get this moved over here. This is not on the website yet, but it should be up today or tomorrow. So we're going to go through everybody and introduce everybody. Okay. But this is our new updated map, and you should be able to access it today or tomorrow on the website. Okay. Oh. Could you see the map or no? Virtual land?
Yes, we were able to.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ariana. Okay, as you can see, we are in a room together, but I will have, everybody's going to turn their cameras on so you can actually see what their faces look like. Most of you know me, but I'm Jenny Curry. We're going to go through introductions here. I'm the East Team Lead for INDOT and for the UPO office, and I have been with INDOT for 7 years now. And so we're all going to share a fun fact about ourselves. My fun fact is that I lived in Australia when I was a kid, the home of Vegemite. But and my coworkers here make fun of me because I like it. But so that's my fun fact. And we're going to go around the room and let everybody show their faces and introduce themselves, since we have quite a few new staff here.
Hello, everybody. You guys, most of you know me already, but I'm Justice McGill. I've been here at INDOT for about 4 years now, and I review permits and water reports for the Crawfordsville district. And a little bit of fun fact about me is I have a goldfish and a pet lizard that I've had for 14 years.
Hello, I am Crystal Reeder. I am the team lead for the west half of the state. And I've been with INDOT for almost 9 years. My fun fact is I'm lucky enough to live close to work, so I get to ride my bike every day.
Hi, Jake Bursky. I've been with INDOT about 1.5 years, a little over that, with the Seymour district. My fun fact is before I took this position for 12 years, I was a teacher, mostly high school biology. So working with you all every day is usually a lot less stressful than working with the hormonal teenagers. I appreciate that.
Hi everyone, I'm Aiden Geisler. I've been with INDOT for just over 1 year now. I'm with the Greenfield district. And the fun fact about me is I'm an avid birder. And actually the job before this, I was living in a car traveling the Southwest to do bird surveys.
Hi, I'm Sandy Bowman. I manage this awesome Ecology and Waterway permitting team. And I've, as of Monday, have 12 years with the agency. And my fun fact is I have 2,700 volunteer hours with the Indianapolis Marion County Public Library bookstore. And I volunteered there since 2008.
Hello, my name is Mary Margaret Moffett. You can call me Mary or Mary Margaret, either way. I have been with INDOT for a grateful 4 months. I'm going to be assigned to the Vincennes district. And my fun fact is that I've lived in Japan, so I'm a big fan of the language, history, and culture. And I think there is nothing better than Japanese baseball. Nice to meet you.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Long. I've been with INDOT for 3 months now,
and I'm in the LaPorte district. So if you have waters reports in that area, you'll probably be dealing with me. And my fun fact is I'm training for my first full marathon.
Guys, my name's Taylor Davis and I've been with INDOT since late May, so almost 5 months. I will be with the West Side Multi-District, so I'll be getting to work with a lot of you. Fun fact about me is before I came to work for INDOT, I trained and worked with elephants at the Dallas Zoo for 4 years.
Hi, I'm Bella Reilly up with Fort Wayne District. I have been here for 4 months also. And my fun fact is that one of my hobbies is scuba diving and the deepest I've gone is 111 feet underwater.
Sorry about that, folks, but yeah, I'm Steve Sperry. I've been with INDOT for over 30 years. Don't exactly ask me exactly how long. I've kind of lost track, but I'm the Ecology Waterway Permitting Coordinator for the Multi-District East Team. That's a mouthful, and report to Jenny Curry. And my fun fact is not many people know it here, but I used to be able to bend spoons with my mind and forks as well. Oh, Jenny, you said facts. Okay. Well, that's not so much fun, but I suppose my fun fact would be that I like to do well, I still like to do landscaping. I'm just not all that great at it, but hey, I'm trying. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so that is our team. And for those who have just hopped on, I will reshare this. So here's our new updated map. It will be available on the website, hopefully today, maybe tomorrow. And we do have some new stormwater people as well. However, they have not been assigned to an area yet. So Greg Couch is your acting team lead for the stormwater team. So this will be going up, like I said, today or tomorrow. But please keep in mind too that our 4 newer staff members are still in training. So if you have specific questions about, permits or waters report in general, you would still contact Crystal or I. But if you have been assigned a specialist and they are the ones reviewing your permits or waters reports, then you can directly email them, but you can copy Crystal and I anyway still. So, okay. So I'll get off of that. I wanted to share, let's see if I can get all this up at the same time. Can we see this? You see the map still? Oh, okay. So this is the listserv that was sent out on, I guess, September 16th. So it's been out a while, but I did just I've had some phone calls and we've had some questions on some of the items here. So I just kind of wanted to touch base on them and see if you guys had any remaining questions on any of these points. So for documenting existing riprap, we're asking for this to basically determine what level of permit we can be at, because we have been asked in a few cases now to mitigate for anything over 300 feet, including riprap. Like we're talking like 20 feet or 50 feet of riprap, we have to mitigate for that. So that hasn't necessarily been the way we've been working, but that has been, it's been in, I think, the rules for IDEM, but it is being kind of pushed now. So that's kind of why we're asking for this information. So if there is existing riprap at your structure, especially for pipeliners, please document that in the waters report and include a distance from the ends of the structures. All of this information that's in this listserv does not, you don't have to go back out if you've already done your field investigation, but this is just moving forward, and that's for all of these points, okay? And then please include the DNR floodway map instead of the FEMA, because the DNR is the one with the jurisdiction over the floodways that we're getting the permits for. So, and they have a new floodplain portal. It's not necessarily new anymore, I guess, but it's much easier to use than it used to be. So it's pretty easy to pop on there and get your maps these days. So please be putting that in there. Wildlife crossings, for the documentation for wildlife crossings, we would like for you to add a new header in your waters reports, the wildlife evidence and concerns header. That can be kind of down towards the bottom with like other resources or open waters, roadside ditches, like those types of headers down towards the bottom, and just document any type of wildlife crossings that you see. And we would like photos of that as well. If you see hoof prints of deer under the structures, or evidence of swallows using the bridges, or of course bats. I think that one goes without saying, but please document those with photos and discuss it within the narrative of the waters report. Again, there's a reason behind this, and it's to help cut down on those CIF deficiency notices that we get. Most of them we get are for wildlife crossings. So if we can kind of understand and know that ahead of time that there is wildlife using the area, then we can coordinate that and get those into the plans earlier in the process than when we would actually see the plan sets when permit applications come in, because that's kind of late in the game as far as plan development is concerned. So that's why we're asking for that in the waters report. I think the next point is pretty much the same. So for permit applications, I haven't really had any questions on this. I think everybody's kind of figured this one out, but I do have an example here. Ooh, that's kind of big, sorry. Big screen, big screen, okay. So the two different types of applications here. Your reviewer will go as your contact person. You see the example down at the bottom where it says Justice McGill, but your applicant is still going to be your team, the corresponding team lead for which side of the state you're dealing with. For the ones that are going through, I know I had a question here recently, like who do I put for Fort Wayne District? Still put me for now because Bella is still in training for permits. So I guess if you've been assigned a reviewer, put that person as your contact person, and then Crystal and I as the applicant. Okay, let me go back to the other one. We have updated our permit determination checklist, and we have actually updated it a little bit. We found a couple errors in it since the listserv was sent out. So please, if you have not accessed the website in a while, it's top one here under Ecology and Waterway links. Just click on that, and that should bring up our most up-to-date. It does have the same date, so that might throw you off a little bit. But please make sure that you're using this most up-to-date one that's on the website currently. We did kind of shift a few things around, as I'm sure you've noticed, but I think it makes it easier for us to do the determinations. And we were missing some information that we found we were asking a lot of questions for, like acreage of soil disturbance, things like that. And for mitigation requirements and permit applications, basically, we've been instructed that the agencies would like to see the mitigation broken down by resource type. So for wetlands, you would break it down by like emergent, scrub, shrub, the different types of wetlands and streams. They would also like to see intermittent, perennial, those types of things broken down by a resource type. So we would like to see those if mitigation is going to be required. And if you have any further questions on what is needed for that section, please contact your specialist or Crystal or I, and we can help you answer those questions. Okay, so I'm going to open it up to questions on the on any of the stuff in the listserv, or if you have questions in general. Now's your time to ask. We have 15 minutes. That went kind of faster than I anticipated. Yes, Ariana?
For the wildlife crossing documentation, do we need to include like photos of any tracks we find, or what kind of details are you looking for?
Yes, please. Any photos or documentation that way, we would like to see photos of the tracks or any kind of bird nest that you may find, or even if you see like raccoon prints or anything like that, any kind of use of wildlife under the structures or through the structures, we would like to have photographic evidence of, as well as describe that in the narrative. Like, we found evidence of wildlife. We're assuming it's, you know, small mammals or probably deer that are using the area. Eileen?
Follow-up question to that. So does that mean that DNR's only, in the event that maybe we don't see any wildlife evidence, does that mean maybe a wildlife crossing isn't required? Or is this just like an extra level?
Yeah, no, that's not necessarily going to be the case.
Okay.
This is just kind of an extra, kind of extra support for us from the get-go that
Just
we
like
can
good
kind of,
documentation.
yeah,
Okay.
that we can kind of help head off some of those deficiencies that we're getting.
Thanks.
Okay, see, is there another hand up or is that the same one?
Yeah, I have a hand up. This is Brock. How far outside of the crossing do we need to review, and does that also include nests and, you know, in trees, or are we only looking at nesting on structures?
We're looking more on the structure and within the investigated area. So whatever your normal investigated area would be, that would be what we would want you to document those particular areas. So we're mostly concerned about the structures themselves, because that's where we need to account for those wildlife crossings underneath, especially bridges and stuff.
Okay.
Okay, we have some questions in the chat too. Let's see how many hands I got up here. Danica?
Oh, well, I put my question in the chat because I
Oh, you
didn't know if
did.
you saw it.
Okay, I just pulled those up. Okay, so let me start at the top. We'll start with Zachary Root and then we'll go to yours. IDNR hasn't updated all the floodways within the counties. That's true. Do you still want the FEMA when there is no DNR floodways present within a county? I think that would be beneficial. So yes. So if there is not a floodway mapped in that county, then please, yes, include the FEMA map. Thank you for pointing that out, Zachary. Danica, within the wildlife evidence and concern section, should the culverts, bridges inspections be discussed here? If they found evidence of wildlife usage, then yes, you can include that in that discussion.
Okay, so, I mean, we usually.
I mean, we don't want to see
still-
the whole, we don't want to see the whole inspection report within the waters report.
Right, I mean, but we generally add that at the end, like, hey, these culverts were inspected and no bats were present. Do you want that within that wildlife evidence? You
Yes,
know what I'm
please.
saying?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Okay, until a reviewer is assigned during the initial review, do you want the team lead or district lead staff listed as the contact person? Yes, Josh. Please continue to put Crystal or I until a reviewer is assigned, because I'm still doing all of the permit application reviews for Fort Wayne at the moment. I mean, Bella's in training, we're doing them together, but until I set her free, it will still be me. Okay, I'm gonna do one more chat and then I see another hand. Peyton Fisher asked, do we need to include fish, amphibians, reptiles for wildlife crossings or just mammals and birds? I think a lot of times I see some kind of mention in the like stream section, usually like if fish or amphibians were noted, because that kind of sometimes will support the determination of what the quality of the stream is. So we kind of see that already, but I guess you could add reptiles to the wildlife crossings area if you see those, because we do have some threatened and endangered reptiles that we get on our DNR correspondence letters. So great questions. Okay, let me go to the hand and then I'll come back to Zach. Whose hand is up? I can't see the hands.
Gabrielle Franco.
Okay. Gabrielle?
Report to the district or to central office or anyone? Thank
I'm
you.
sorry?
On LPA, on local projects, do we need to submit the WATERS report for review and approval?
Not for local projects, no. We only do state funded project or federally funded projects.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay, and then we have a, what was the minimum about of riprap to record again, 3x3 or larger? I mean, any evidence of existing riprap, we would want to see, we would want you to record in the waters report. So I know a lot of times it does wash away, but it's, if there is any like remaining riprap, it's, we would just want to know what is there. Even if it's like a foot, that's fine. Just let us know what it is. Okay, anybody have any additional questions? It doesn't necessarily have to be about what was on the listserv. If you guys have questions, we have like a few more minutes remaining. Do you want the riprap recorded where it is above the high water line? Yeah, we just want to know what the footprint is in general. So, yeah. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Miss Brooks. Not related to wildlife crossing, but could you please talk about what documentation you would like to see to make a determination if a waters report is needed or not? Or, yeah, when asking the UPO confirmation, when asking for UPO confirmation by email. Sorry, I can't read today, apparently. Really, that's kind of a case-by-case basis. We'd like to see, you know, obviously project location, maybe some photos if you've had a preliminary field check, and basically like the basic project information, like what's going to be done, what type of work is going to be done. Those are just conversations that you'll have to have with your specialist or team lead on a case-by-case basis. April's asking riprap on top of pipes or culverts. No, we just want the footprint on the inlet or outlet side. Caroline, would you like data point photos to be included and numbered in the main photo log, or would you like to keep them separate? I think it depends on, again, on the project. If it's one that's really like congested and, are you asking Caroline to put them after the data sheets or with the main photos? Is that what your question is?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Okay. Yeah, we had been asking for them to go with the main photo log, but after further discussion internally, we decided that they do kind of make sense after the data sheets. So, I mean, we're not going to make you move them if you put them with the main photo log, but after the data sheets is fine as well.
Okay, yeah, I think for a while we had been doing like a data sheets and then the photos for that data point and then data sheet, and then the photos for that data point. So like alternating. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, we like to see that. That's nice because then we can see immediately with the data sheet what the profile looks like and that kind of thing.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Anybody within our group have anything additional to say? I'm getting a bunch of silence. Okay, wait, Marissa has a question here. Does this include the directional photos or just the soil profile? Just the soil profile, Marissa. The directional photos should still be up with the log.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you got 5 minutes. Anybody? Anybody?
Yeah, I have a quick question about, you said just moving forward, taking pictures of the riprap and the wildlife crossings. Are you guys just gonna look at the date of the field investigation, or on the waters reports where we didn't do that coming up? Would you like us to still have those sections and like make a statement that those things weren't analyzed, or how would you like us to approach that?
No, if you weren't able to gather the information while you were out there, which obviously you probably weren't, a lot of this field season probably isn't going to have that information, and that's okay. But we are looking for those types of things while in the permit determination process as well. Like, especially if it's a bridge, we're going to say, hey, just make sure that we're accounting for wildlife concerns, you know, as far as like when the plans are being developed. So for the ones that you guys have already done the field work on, you don't need to add those sections, no. Should we automatically collect guano samples if we find it? I'm gonna let Sandy take that one.
I would say, to me, if you've got the appropriate collection tools to do it, so it's gonna be preserved, it would be better to collect it, but also make sure you've got a plan before you start collecting it, so we've got a good representative sample. And if you have, because I think we're running into situations now, you know, we're at the end of the season. Oh, we never took samples, but any guano that's there, if it's still there, is either, you know, breaking down. So whether we're going to have a good result or not, but if they would have picked it up when they were initially out in the field, we wouldn't be in that situation. I know we've got at least a couple of bridges that may have problems if we don't get good analysis off it. And if, as far as finding bats, right now, it's still me. Or you can go through your permit specialist and they'll talk to me about it. So, or Jenny. Jenny's kind of my backup.
I've been helping out with the bats. I like the little guys. Okay, we have a couple more here. Excuse me. Michael asked, when removing and replacing riprap, do you require mitigation, and what would that look like? Not on an existing footprint, no. That's kind of why we want the photo documentation and the measurements. I kind of figured this question was coming. I talked to a consultant the other day about this. How does grouted riprap impact permit determinations? Well, we're going to warn you during the permit determinations that the agencies do not like grouted riprap. And partially grouted is, we can get through item. Sometimes DNR has been recently really pushing back on any type of grout, partially, especially not fully grouted. We have a few permits in with them right now where the biologist is really pushing back. And it's a situation where the clearance under the bridge isn't enough to replace what's there with new. So the partially grouted was the option chosen. So we can get it through IDEM and the core partially anyway. IDEM will.
You don't necessarily like it.
They don't like it, but they do fully grouted on an IP.
Fully on IP.
Okay, that's what I said.
It is.
Yeah, so the partially grouted, we can get through IDEM if it meets all the other terms and conditions of the 14 and nationwide 14. But if it's a fully grouted situation, then it will be elevated to an IP. DNR, we're trying. That's all I can tell you right now.
I think this, Michael, you had another part of your question is, what would that look like? I'm assuming that references the mitigation. We are avoiding doing any type of on-site mitigation. We would rather pay the bill to INSWIMP than, or I guess if it's to a bank, if we have to, then do on-site, because we lose it go replant it, so.
Mhm. Pretty. I was said consultant, so thanks. She in fact was said consultant.
Like, I have a comment about the activity description for permit determinations. It's Kristen, right? Make sure those kind of like in the permit applications themselves, the activity description, make sure it focuses on the impacts to the streams and wetlands and floodway and not the nitty gritty details of the structure going in or whatever. There's so much fluff that we read through looking for, okay, this is what I needed to know. So there's a lot of time, I have often having had to go back and ask for more information about what's actually happening to the streams. And then further on the grouted riprap, if you have to do it, just make sure you have a solid justification for it, because we will ask you for it.
And I'll piggyback. I guess I forgot I didn't turn my camera back on so you can see all of us. Sorry about that. I will add to the permit determination part. Make sure you're filling it out completely. We want to see how much soil disturbance there is. We want to know what the upstream drainage of the streams are, that kind of thing. We've had a few recently that basically just fill out the top. So, so please fill out those completely so we don't have to do some back and forth email communication. Okay. All right, guys. Well, this was a short one, I know, but we just wanted to take the opportunity to introduce our new staff. And so you guys can put a face with a name and go over our recent updates. So I appreciate all the questions. These were great questions, great conversations. And we'll see you guys next time, I suppose.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Thank
Thank you.